Hello web page development and design students. Welcome to tutorial number 14 where we're going to talk about slider effects for our banner on our website that we just made. One of the very first things that I'm going to need you to do is I'm actually going to show you in the pass out file a couple of different things that you're going to need to copy. There are 3 files that you're going to need to copy from my pass outs. Remember high school, and then you're going to find my name, Sittler, down here, and you're going to open this web page development and design folder and Cheers design files. Now, you need to copy 3 file sheets: the cascading style sheet, this for the slider, the JavaScript slider code, as well as the slider page code. I'm just going to minimize that, and I'm going to open Dreamweaver up here, and I'm going to actually show you my files. We'll go into design view so you can see our website, and then I'm going to open my files over here, and you can see that in the JavaScript file I have this jQuery, this slider.js, and the Timothy.js, as well as so I'll close that folder, and then we're going to go down. I'm going to close templates, and I'm going to go into CSS. And you can see that we have 3 CSS files: the print, the slider, and the styles. And you want to make sure that you put them in there. And if Dreamweaver asks you to link them, you want to make sure that you link them. And you can see that I have my template open with those 4 files. It's not showing the other ones, but it shows that I have unsaved changes. Remember, save, you right click and save, and then it's going to update those files eventually. So we're going to minimize that, and we're going to go into our website. So after you have all of those files saved, I want you to open the other file that you're going to need. I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to hopefully find my folder here. It's underneath here. This Cheers design folders and this code I'm going to open with Adobe Dreamweaver, and then we'll go back into Dreamweaver as it should open it. I guess, yeah, here it is. This is the plugin that we're going to use for the jQuery and the slider plugin path. So you can see we're going to use these instructions to open our template and to put in our template. So we're going to start with our template here. One of the reasons we didn't see those files, even though I've copied them into my files for my Cheers design file, is I haven't linked them yet. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And so we're in our template, the Cheers, you're going to be in your Cheers main template. You're going to open that up, and then you're going to do the file, and you're going to save as, and you're going to save it as a template, which I already have it saved as a template. So you want to save it as Cheers_slider as that template. And then what we're going to do is going to go into our code view over here, and we're going to go up into our head. And one of the easiest ways to do this is just to copy this, Control C, and then we are going to hit Control V, and then where it says this Timothy JS JavaScript file, we're going to go ahead and we're going to delete that, and then we're going to actually put in a new colon, and we're going to our new quote marks, and we're going to browse, and we're going to find the slider JavaScript in the JavaScript file and hit OK. And we've put that in there. Now, one thing that I want to point out before we move forward any further, this JS query needs to go in front of your slider file, or otherwise it will not work. You know, and then what I'm going to do is we're going to get rid of this little script code. We're going to keep that in here. We're going to also do the same thing for our CSS code. So we're just going to I'm going to just copy and paste that link underneath. tab it over. And then I'm going to tab down to give this a little bit of space. This CSS print style sheet, so we're just going to get rid of this whole code here, and we're going to put that quote mark in. We're going to browse. Sorry about that. Okay, we're going to browse, and it takes us automatically back to our Shears Design JavaScript folder where we left off, but that file isn't going to be in that folder. What you need to do is go into your Shears Design website and go in the CSS folder, put that slider file in and hit OK. And then that slider CSS is in there. And then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to put that code, the rest of that code in, because it's style. It's a style sheet with the quotes, and then it's a type. The type is going to be text.css, and then the media is going to be equal to screen. Now, if you don't trust yourself to type this correctly, you can go over to this slider page code, that text file, and you can go down and you can look for that CSS, that relative style sheet. So this is basically where you just put the insert in, style sheet type equals text equals CSS, media equals screen. And if we look back here, you can see that we have it correct. So those are the first two things that you need to do. Now, what we also need to do is to go back into the slider page code, and then our next step after we've done that is to copy this script code right here. So we're going to Control C it, and then we're going to put it between the JavaScript file and the CSS style sheets. That's one of the reasons I gave it some extra space, and we're going to paste it in there. And so we have a space in here and a space in here, and then that is all we need to do. What this does is this will help our slider to run correctly. And after that, we need to do a couple of other things to make sure that the slider is running correctly. So we want to go back into this slider page code, and we need to copy this entire div for the slider. This is actually the last step of this tutorial. And while we are in the code, and we've been working in the head, now we need to go back into the body, and we need to find our slider div as far as where we have it and what we have. So I'm going to delete that slider div. I'm actually going to just highlight it, and I'm going to Control V and paste over that. And I'm going to give that a little bit of space. I actually don't like that space here just because it looks like there's a separate part of the slider div. So we have that in the code. Now the images and the images banner 1, we need to make sure that we are adjusting this image source. So and we're going to replace our banner. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and then we want to browse. We're going to go back in our Shears Design file. We're going to go to Shears Design, we're going to go to Images, and we're going to go to the B1, and we're going to put that in there. Now, the other thing is where it says this is an image title, this part here adjusts this on the text. Now, we don't need this. This is just code for comments like we talked about in CSS, so we really don't need that. So I'm going to just delete that for right now, just so we're not taking up too much space. This talks about if we don't want to link it, and I'm going to just delete this space in here. And then what I want to do is where it says this is an image title, I want to write first slide. Okay, and then we're gonna continue kind of seeing what we have at this point. And we're back, and you can see that I paused the video and I'm in design view in our live view, and you can see that I now have first slide, and as you watch it go through, and as I'm talking, as I'm scrolling over, it stops. But if I move my cursor down here, you can see that it's the second slide and then the third slide, and then this, for people who are wanting to read it, all they need to do is keep their cursor there. And then let me show you back in the code view of what we did. So I want to go over into our code view. And at this point, we have a couple of little minor things that we need to do to fix our slider. So we're going to just save our web page. So we're going to file and we're going to save as, and I have an error. So we're going to come back and we're going to fix it. Template doesn't have any editable regions, hit OK. And then we're going to just save it as sheer slider and come back tomorrow or next time and fix it. Good luck.